Hello, my name is Jerry Wise, and I'm a relationship expert and a family of origin expert. And I have many people who ask me the question, well, how do I self-differentiate? How do I do that? What do you do to practice this self-differentiation? And I thought I would give you an example today of a tool, and one of the ways in which you can practice self-differentiation. And this is about that example. Being confused is a great way to keep from getting hooked by another person or by a group. And I think a lot of people, self-differentiation is about not getting hooked, not getting reactive, not having to play the game, not having to play the roles that you've been taught to play and to do, and to de-enmesh. This video is about using confusion to keep yourself and to remain yourself without cutting off from others. I recently got permission to use an example of one of my clients. While I won't reveal her personal information, I'll use her life example in this video. And this is Mary and her difficult and immature mother, Samantha. Mary and Samantha are enmeshed, and they have been enmeshed for many, many years. In fact, even from the very beginning when she was very young, her mother had a very alcoholic husband. Her father was alcoholic. Mary's father was alcoholic. She divorced the alcoholic and married another man who then became a sexual abuser. Mary has had a long, difficult relationship with her mother. Her mother often makes up stories and tells others about Mary to maintain her victim lifestyle and to always be the one wronged in life. Samantha loves the drama and probably is an abuse victim herself, and has spent her life lying and manipulating her family to get what she wants and what she needs. Samantha uses guilt, anger, and reactivity to get her children to do things for her, even when doing things for her is harmful to them. Mom, Samantha, is volatile, rejecting, and will punish Mary for not going along with her way of thinking. Samantha believes she was a great mom to her 3 children. In her rather delusional or denial mind, Mary's stepfather was sexually abusive to her, and Mary even told her mother at age 15. But her mother ignored it and probably denied it. And Samantha is still married to this man. Mary is the codependent caretaker for Mom. Her brother is enmeshed with her mom in a number of ways and a number of levels. And her sister is cut off from her mom and won't have anything to do with Samantha. Mom underfunctions in numerous ways. Mom is always creating havoc for Mary. She tells her friends that Mary is mean to her and acts in unloving ways to her, then tells her family and the few family members who will listen that Mary is bad and does bad things and doesn't care about her and doesn't love her. Then her family and few family members and friends will call Mary and ask her about what Mom has said. Mary's, of course, have said and done none of these things that Mom has said. And she even tries to set boundaries with Mom. But of course, when she sets boundaries, then Mom acts out in this way by creating a drama. This makes Mary feel guilty. Mary keeps the secret that Mom has been shoplifting and abusing prescription pills. Mary also keeps the secret that Mom denied her abuse growing up, because she doesn't want the world to know that she had a mother who does this and who did that. Oftentimes when we are stuck in those dysfunctional families, that's what we will do. We will even protect those who harmed us. Mary has been setting more boundaries with her mom. This increases the heat in their relationship. Mary has been preparing herself to ask her mother what she was thinking and feeling when she told her about the abuse when she was 15, in which Samantha did and said nothing, and they have never talked about it since. By the way, Mary is probably in her 40s, has teenage children, and is a professional. Mom then has a conversation with Mary recently in which she says, I know I've always loved my children, and I've been a great mom no matter what my kids think. Often Samantha will say wild things to get an argument started or out of her own immaturity. And this happens often with Mary's brother Mary's brother and Mary's sister Cindy. And at this point, when Mom says something like that, Mary feels caught. She knows if she does one thing, it will cause one problem. If she does another thing, it will cause another problem. She feels caught. She doesn't know how to get uncaught. And so there, her self-differentiation is not very strong. So, A, Mary can avoid her mother and say nothing, which feels bad internally because she knows what happened when she denied her abuse. She knows her mother hasn't been the most caring and wonderful mom through her years of growing up. Or secondly, she can accuse her mom of lying one more time and become reactive and tell her mother she was a horrible mother and rage at her out of her anger she has had pent up for a number of years. And by the way, she is in the process of preparing herself to ask her mother about the events when she was 15, but she's not quite ready yet. She wants to have a non-anxious presence and do it as a researcher, not as an accuser, and not as one who's stuck in her anger over it. Because if she's there, it will only turn into a mess and will not be very therapeutic for her or for her mom. Oftentimes we will be involved with people who say things we don't agree with, or say things that are meant to urge us to react or to become reactive. The goal is to avoid reactivity and to remain mature, and to avoid living in a needing way or needing others or the other in an immature, enmeshed way. I suggested this. Mary, when your mom says that she was the most wonderful mom, loved her kids, and was the greatest mom ever growing up, you can say, Mom, I'm not sure I understand. Mom, I'm confused. And stop. If Mom wants you to be reactive or have a fight, she will ask you in a defensive way, well, what don't you understand? What are you confused about? And if somebody's wanting to pick a fight, then I know there's no reason to hardly continue the conversation, because it will not change them. It will only get me enmeshed and caught up with them. If she really wants to know how you feel, she will ask in a way in which she really wants to know more about you. If she wants me to be defensive, I will just respond, I am just confused by what you said, but that's okay. Hey, what would you like to have for lunch? If Mom has some desire to really connect with you, and only if this is the motive, then you can reveal more. For example, if she'd say, well, honey, I don't know what you mean when you say you're confused, and she's really open and she really would like to hear, then you say, well, Mom, you mentioned that I loved you kids growing up and I was always a great mom. Well, that statement is confusing to me, Mom, because I remember several times in which your choices as a mom didn't work out so well for me. If she becomes defensive, then say, well, that's okay. If she wants to know more, and if she's humble and open, then you can explain more. And then you might even feel safe enough to say, hey, when I was 15, I remember telling you this, and nothing happened. So that's why it's confusing when you make that statement. My job is not to argue, not to get defensive. not to tear down the other, or mom, not to make mom see something, not to try to change mom, not to punish mom for what she did when I was 15. The goal has nothing to do with that, because if you're trying to do all those things, then you're still enmeshed with the abuse and still enmeshed with mom, which only will create more pain and problems. Whenever I feel someone is stating we should agree on something that I don't agree with, I get confused. I don't get angry. I don't get defensive. I don't get in a fixing mode. I don't get in a corrective mode. And I don't get in a I've been personally attacked mode. I get confused. Again, if someone says something I don't agree with, or feels like a personal slight, or something I don't like, with low self-differentiation, I will feel the need to defend, correct, argue, avoid, change, fix, get mad, run, get sad, feel hurt, hurt them. I'll want to do any number of those things and maybe many more. If my self-differentiation is higher, I will be confused, because what they're saying doesn't fit in my paradigm or worldview of myself. It doesn't go along with myself. And I don't need to make them get along with myself. Myself is myself. And my understanding of the past is my understanding of the past. No one else has to agree with me. I know what happened. And that's what matters, because I matter to me. I don't have to make everybody else matter. Me matter to them. It's only if they choose to have me matter to them. That's up to them. The goal is to do none of these things, so I get confused. It's a neutral state or stance. It elicits inquiry from the other, but beware of answering their questions if it's only to enmesh with you or to argue with you. Only answer their questions about confusion if you feel they might be ready to hear the answer. If not, don't. And I have a rule. I never have to answer any questions I don't want to answer. There is no law that says I have to answer them. Well, if you're confused, then you have to tell me why you're confused. No, I don't. I don't have to tell you anything. I told you I was confused. When you're ready to hear why I'm confused, I'd be happy to tell you. However, right now you don't seem ready to hear that, so I'm not going to go into revealing more of me. It's not safe. Often questions are not asked to gain real information or to get to know you better or to be intimate with you, but to argue, to use it against you, especially with family of origin, or to have you play the family role that you should always play. To remain self-differentiated, use the confused state. At least you won't be fusing with them or backing up from them and cutting off from them. They might be confused, but that's not your fault and it's not your problem. Well, your confusion really just confuses me, Jerry. Huh. Sorry to hear that. Because the problem started with them, not with me. I don't have a need to fix their confusion. Now, if they're confused about my confusion, well, that's whenever they'd really like to know in a genuine, safe way, I'd be happy to tell them. Until then, we'll just leave it at that. And I have no needs beyond that. If I do, they're probably not healthy and probably not self-differentiated. And it might sober them to get out of the game or out of the family of origin role-playing that was going on in the first place if I say, well, I'm just confused. Someone said to me years ago, I had a client who said, Jerry, you are the worst therapist in the city. I was fortunate I had learned confusion. I then neither needed to defend myself or to reject them, but to explore with them. I said, well, I don't understand. I'm confused. come to find out, their spouse had said, I said, this spouse was immature and acted like a baby. I said none of this. None of that is anything I said. So really, their accusation of me, or their distortion of me, had nothing really to do with me. It had to do with something that was inaccurate on their part. My mother would say, Jerry, do you think you'll be going to heaven? By the way, this is an enmeshment question in my family. And I said, well, I'm confused. I don't know what you mean. Well, Mom would say, I wanted to know if you thought you were going to heaven. It sounds like you're worried, Mom. I wouldn't worry about it. Things are going to work out just fine. She and I don't share the same faith. Though she would like me to share her faith so she can feel more at ease and less anxious and less fearful. And again, remember, questions always come out of the paradigm. Questions come out of the family of origin roles and dysfunction. Often questions come out of that basis. They're not coming to just really know something. They're coming to keep the dysfunctional dynamic going. An alcoholic son said to his mother recently, I'm just asking you to call my wife and tell her to stop bugging me about my drinking. I know you know I'm not an alcoholic, Mom. She has come to learn to say, John, I'm confused. Well, what do you mean, Mom? Well, I don't share that view. You mean you think I'm an alcoholic? I hate you when you think so little of me. You have always treated me badly. John, it's okay for me to be confused. If you ever want to know how I really feel, let me know. Sounds like when you calm down, we could talk. She neither needs to convince him he's an alcoholic, nor defend herself for being a bad mom. Her son is sick, and she accepts the reality and is patiently staying herself in the situation, staying her, without cutting off or enmeshing with him or agreeing with him. Confusion is an argument stopper. Self-differentiation is about two things. Seeing what's really going on, how I'm stuck in the relationship, stuck in my role, forced into operating in a particular way in the relationship system. And secondly, becoming self and reaching towards having a non-anxious presence. Being me while staying connected. The goal is neither to be pulled in or pushed away in the relationship. And that's why I think confusion or confused state can be so powerful in that, because it allows you neither to be pulled in or pushed away. I rehearse these roles and these skills and scenarios with clients, and we practice being self and we plan for worst case scenarios with family of origin, spouses, friends, bosses, co-workers, and even children. You might want to try it. If you feel uneasy about trying it, if you feel it would make things worse for you, please contact me so I can help you heal in some areas that would make it possible for you. I hope that you'll get some help for yourself if you're struggling with self-differentiation. My information is on the screen. You can contact me. I work out of my office. I also work online for any of those who live far away. Join our YouTube channel. I hope you'll like this video and make comments at the bottom. I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.